said that she was surprised to see how little of a man that he was. Listen, let me tell y'all something about short men. Yes, they be having, brain things because, they be having them Napoleon Dynamites into plexus. Okay? Y'all know I mean Napoleon complex, right? Because sometimes I be joking and you niggas take it for serious. No. Share to Facebook and subscribe because it is so important to our success here on the YouTube. I told you all I'm asking now for a minimum of 700 likes. I think we can get it. And if you are not already a part of our book club, please remember to hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes you, can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's talk about Mary Wilson's My Life as a Supreme Dream Girl part. This is, I think it's 9. So where we left off, you have Mary, Betty, Flo, and Diane, okay? They are on the move towards Motown, okay? How did they get there? Well, it was because they sacrificed their guitar player, okay? Let me warm y'all up a little bit. They went around there, auditioned for the Smokey Robinson, okay? Smokey said, if you do a good job with me, then I, let Barry the Gordy know about you, okay? And while they was auditioning for Smokey the Robinson stole their guitar player. So they're there, okay? They sitting around, Betty, Flo, Diane, and Mary. Mary is trying to be cool, but she's still a little nervous. Betty is trying to, break the tension by cracking jokes. Now, here and there, Mary is giggling, okay, at Betty ass, cracking jokes, okay? Flo, she's still her cool, calm self. Now, Flo is cool for real, for real. Diane is cool, acting cool, like, oh, I am such a dignified person, okay? If it's greatness in this room, it will be me. We know that Diane will do whatever needs to be done for her to get over there. I told y'all it may be times that you feel like I might be a little bit too hard on Diana Ross. It does not matter. I love her and all her children, okay? And all the mother hunchies that she might have had to sleep with to get to where she is now. I mean, when you gotta go, sometimes you might have to fall to your knees. Blink. So once in the tiny, bare reception area, I was relieved to see a familiar face. Seated behind the front desk was a young lady by the name of Janie Bradford, whom they met through their previous manager, Milton, the one who got gangrene in his arm right now. The time that they spent waiting couldn't have been much longer than an hour, but it felt like a year. I must have memorized every inch of that room. Speaking in a whisper, Flo reiterated that we should not appear too eager, that Motown's reputation was none too good. Flo had a cocky attitude about this whole business. She thought that a company like Motown should consider itself lucky that groups as good as the Primettes would even be willing to record with them. I mean, Flo know what she's capable of. And y'all told me, okay, and in this book, they're saying that Flo's soulfulness is equated with the Aretha Franklin. So, I mean, if I was the Flo and I knew that I had an Aretha Franklin burling inside of me waiting to get out, I would be kind of cocky too because she knows what she's capable of. Now, we were finally shown into the studio. and was introduced to Richard Morris, Robert Bateman, who is a talent scout and a producer, and then Mr. Berry Gordy himself. Murray said that she was surprised to see how little of a man that he was. Listen, let me tell y'all something about short men. Yes, they be having, brain things because, they be having them Napoleon Dynamite centuplexes. Okay, y'all know I mean Napoleon complex, right? Because sometimes I be joking and you new niggas take it for serious. We know damn well that them short men be the ones with the biggest dreams, okay? They ain't got time to sit around and cry because they little, okay? What they gonna do is, because they can't grow up, they gonna blow up, okay? And Berry Gordy is a prime example of that, because Miss Murray Wilson said that he wasn't nothing but 5'7". Okay, 5'7" is not that bad. He wasn't what you'd call handsome, but he exuded a certain confidence that hinted he could take care of himself. Berry was nice enough to us, but he seemed much more serious about things than other people. Yeah, because he got a mission to accomplish, child. He's trying to get this Motown thing off the ground. He ain't got time to be playing around with you primates. And although he could make anyone feel at ease, if you were smart, you knew that there was something going on behind his smile. Richard basically handled the entire meeting, or the entire audition. Richard, okay, I see you, girl. They went into their norm, they don't change from that. Flo singing night and day, who is that? Mary doing all the ballads, and Diane is singing, what songs does she sing? There Goes My Baby. And they doing this all a cappella because, they, Smokey the Robinson stole their guitar player. At the end of it, okay, they felt confident that they did the best that they could, right? The problem was when Berry Gordy came back in, nice girls, nice little girls, nice little girls. But why don't you come back to see me once you graduated high school? Mary said, okay, it was just a nice way of saying, I'm Berry Gordy. I'm trying to get this company up off the ground, and I don't have time to be chaperones for no damn teenagers, okay? Even though 2 out of the 3 girls, by the time that they signed the contract and became the Supremes, were still in high school. Now, we didn't want to leave after the audition. The atmosphere at Hitsville was charged with excitement. Everyone there seemed to believe that great things were going to happen. The fact that Berry Gordy did not sign us then only fueled our desire to be part of Motown. We were forced to make last-ditch efforts. Without a record, our singing careers were as good as over. We simply would not take Berry's no for an answer. The day we auditioned and were refused, we just couldn't bring ourselves to get up and leave. We returned to the reception area feeling both numb and all wound up from singing. So let me say this, okay? She said that back then at Hitsville, everything was lax, okay? So that's how they were able to just go to the place every day after school or whatever, okay? You could just go in, sit down, chat. Hey, girl, kind of like a barbershop type environment, okay? You're not really there to get your hair cut, but you will go there, sit down, and chit-chat. So, now, while they were there, they were able to meet several people, okay? The Holland brothers. They haven't came across Dozier yet because, they're a part of the Holland brand, okay, that Motown is affiliated with. But they met them. And they also met Mr. Norman Whitfield, a young producer, and 2 of Motown's biggest stars, Marv Johnson and Mary Wells. They don't have a manager still, okay? But they're still enthusiastic about their group, okay? So they felt it would be in their best interest to continue to practice, rehearse, sing together, go to Motown together, sit around and wait for any and every opportunity. Maybe if Berry Gordy seen our face every day, one day they would be like, hey, you girls, come here. That's what they believe. When you're young, that's just the naiveness of what would happen, even though it actually worked. Young performers seem to find their way to the Motown in droves, okay? The negative rumors about Motown deterred very few. It was still one of the few places in Detroit a young musician or singer could make a buck or get a chance to really succeed. Okay, say what you want to. Say what you want to about the Motown, but baby, this the only ticket in town, baby. What you gonna do? We got to know Richard Morris, a tall, young recording engineer and musician who had been working with Barry in different capacities for a couple of years. Richard had been the leader of a street gang called the Shakers, but he had cleaned up his act. He'd been friendly with us, and there had been some discussion that we might be used to cut some background vocals, but nothing really ever happened. So when they seen Richard, when are we going to make our own record, Richard? I asked. Wait a minute, bitch. Wait a minute. Who you talking to like that? Girl, I ain't promise you no rainbows and damn Lucky Charms, girl. You better back down, okay? If I send your ass back to fucking 8th grade, don't play with me. Diane piped in. We need to get in the studio and make a recording for the Primettes. Flo and Betty both gave Richard meaningful glares. Basically, the girls are acting like the reason why things aren't going the way that they supposed to go down here in the Hitsfield is Richard. Richard, it's your fault. We are here because you recommended it. You told us that we can do this. You didn't tell us that when, we sang and fa la la and shook and jived for Bird Gordy that he was going to be like, answer no, I don't want no cheering in here, even though he hunched. Okay, Diane, the girls are pissed with him. Girls, it's not Richard Moore's fault that Barry the Gordy is full of the shits. Okay, it's not his fault. He saw talent. Okay, you talented. Let me arrange for you to go down there to the Motown and perform. He didn't know that Barry the Gordy was going to be full of malarkey. He didn't know that. After all, Diane reminded him, you told Marvin Toplin that we should come here in the first place. Can you talk to the big man or something? Now, Richard laughed. He like, ha, ha, ha. Okay, these little girls getting on my nerves. They don't understand the business. But let me see what I can do, okay? He goes in there to talk to Barry the Gordy. Barry the Gordy, you going to work with these little girls? Didn't I tell you answer no the last time? I told them answer no. Why the hell is you in here? Richard says, okay, hold tight, hold tight. Let's do this, okay? Let me take them on. Let me work with the girls. And then we'll come back to you later. Whatever you say. But I already told them little girls, answer no. Richard later gave us the news along with the assurance that he believed in the Primettes and that someday soon we would be making records. Over the next few months, we worked with Richard, ceasing our daily visits to Hitsfield. Richard helped us run our rehearsals, and we were confident that we would end up back on the West Grand Boulevard eventually. This was just a temporary detour. Even though their mission is to get into the Motown and make hits, okay? They know that, I like money. Oh, we like money. We like nice things. We like the accolades of being, known as the Primettes, okay? So we need to continue getting ourselves out there, right? Richard had eventually put them in a place where they could get back to the level that they were at before, okay? Because remember, they didn't have a manager to make those connections with those bigger facilities, right? They could do the sock hops. Hey, the DJ call. Hey, Diane, Mary, Flo, and Betty, come down here and do some sock hops, okay? But the big ones, like what Milton was doing, like getting them to go to these grand ballrooms, that was Milton. With Richard and his friend Homer Davis in charge, the Primettes bookings increased. Okay, now working with Richard got us into some of the bigger places, like the Greystone Ballroom or the 20 Grand, where we played on the same bill with such stars as the Falcons. Now, Richard was not always the easiest person to get along with, but because he worked so hard for us, he was easy to forgive. Now, I don't know what that means. This right here, Murray, I feel you being like Aretha in this. You ain't telling us what you need to be saying, because I'm like, easiest to get along with. What is you saying? Was he disrespecting you? Was he calling y'all little bitches? Like, what was he doing? Was he smacking y'all on the ass? What are you doing? I began to hang out with him. I wanted to learn about everything that was going on, and I felt uncomfortable always having to play the diplomat in group crisis. Richard and I would have long talks about things in general, and he treated me like a younger sister, okay? I don't know why a grown-ass man wants to hang out with a little girl. Kales. I was flattered when he told me that I had intelligence, wit, and softness. I also knew that he liked Betty, and he had the utmost respect for Flo, okay? His problem was with Diane. Diane knew, like Aries will do, they will f with you just because they be bored, okay? But Diane knew that Richard Morris was a little irritated by her, okay? And because she is secretly an old demon, she would do shit to irritate him even more. Luckily, the older girl, Betty, you know, because the girls looked up to Betty like an older sister, it would take for Richard to go to Betty to say, can you get Diane before I punch her in the damn mouth or smack her across the floor? It always was Betty who was the person who could control Diane, okay? And to me, as the manager, I would have said, Diane, you got to go. Know this before we go forward, okay? Before Barry the Gordy said answer no to the primates, to the girls, okay? He heard them perform. The song that he liked the most was the song that Diane led. That was the sound that he connected with. Not Flo's heavy, strong, soulful voice, or Mary the Wilson's light voice, or Betty's, you know, I really don't want to be here anyway voice. It was Diane. The girls were young. Okay, they all young. They all under 18 years old. I think now they're probably 16, 15, and two 14-year-olds. Okay, we're going into some clubs with some grown-ass men, all right? This is how you are to act. Act accordingly. Act like a young lady. When them men be acting a fool, don't mess with them. Stay away from them, okay? Then that way we all can make it home, right? One day, she was given those instructions, meaning Diane was given those instructions, keep your hot ass on the stage. She decided, okay, where's the old man down here shimmying? I want to get down on the floor with him and dance with him. Okay, so now you got hot pussy Diana down on the floor dancing with some old man after Richard told her don't do that. You want to get yourself in trouble, and or you're going to lead these crazy ninjas on, because you really don't know who crazy until crazy get there. Again, Richard is annoyed. Betty, you better get this. You better get her. Okay, I don't care if Bird the Gordy like her voice or not. You better get this girl for I choke her. Okay, Betty came along. Hey, Diane, you know you're not right. You know you need to, chill and do what the man who basically is booking us these shows tell us to do, okay? So, everything about Diane as a teenager is saying, go get her. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to be where I want to be. Everything about Diane as a child definitely is who she is now as an adult, okay? And nothing about her shows to be weak or passive. Everything seems to be assertive, aggressive, and, just downright, I hate to say this, selfish. Richard was no wimp, but once Diane set her mind to do something, no one could stop her. He knew that some of the places we played weren't the nicest, and the men in the audience could be very aggressive. That bitch, she don't care. Diane regularly defied Richard, and once at a gray stone ballroom, she jumped out onto the floor and started dancing with a guy. When Richard tried to stop her, she said some unladylike thing to him, pouted, and kept on dancing. Richard was about to grab Diane and drag her off the floor, but instead he called Betty. Looking back, I shouldn't have been surprised to see that as our career grew, so did feelings of competitiveness, jealousy, and distrust. It upset me once in a while, but I became an expert at stifling my feelings. Remember that Mary Wilson still has issues from her past with Ivy. Now, because of that, she doesn't want to do anything to shake up the group. Anything or any expressions or any words that she can say, give, or do that could possibly interfere with the group's progress, she wasn't going to do. So she waited back there, over there. I ain't going to say nothing. Let me just be over here in the corner. Because Ivy messed my head up and made me think that if I have a voice, people get hurt. Now, if you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, and subscribe, because it is so important to our success here on the YouTube. Now remember this, the same people that you meet on the way up will always be the same people that you meet on the way down. My naysayers, my patron loves you, babies. Have a good one.